guys, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, good. Nice.
Screen share working?
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to enforce like the 5-minute cutoff for your presentation. So Ariel will message you when there's 2 minutes left, 1 minute left, and 30 seconds left, and when your time is up. And then we'll have 5 minutes of Q&A afterwards. Are there any questions?
Okay.
No.
Okay.
All right, whenever you're ready, go ahead.
It's 3, 2, 1, start. Good morning, everyone. Our team is distributed daydreaming. And as you can see from our first slide, our topic is to develop a scalable solution, which helps in tracking the behavior of the worker on site. It helps sending feedback mechanisms to the monitor room, and the monitor room sends instructions to the workers. Next. This is our challenge statement, which I just said. It's based upon the root cause analysis done by Sterlite Power, which lists the main reasons for the accidents on their sites. Next.
These are the key identified problems that we found. How can you monitor the behavior of the worker? How can you use the monitor behavior to increase safety? How can you make the system smarter for minimum human intervention? How can you use the generated data in future projects such as knowledge base or an audit? Next, please. We propose the use of a smart grid with sensor network plus a battery energy storage system to conduct grid analytics such as fault detection, repair dispatch, real-time data and monitoring, wildfire, natural disaster resilience, and adaptive storage such as regulation and contingency spinning. Next, please. We also introduce the Starlight National Transmission Forecast, which is a machine learning model to forecast transmission rate and behavior patterns of the workers causing accidents for accurate analysis. This machine learning model relies on randomized forest approach by dividing the country in sectors, input variables for analyzation data, gathering data for specific years, and then training the model using input data and hundreds of mathematical pathways to forecast the leading behavior that follows an arc. The leading to accidents due to specific behaviors. Next, please.
So each worker would be outfitted with a suite of sensors contained in a helmet and a harness. These sensors would effectively monitor and feedback the main aspects of the worker's safety. We propose the creation of a safe tool. This would act as an intermediary between the worker and their supervisor at their monitoring station.
Here's an overview of our team architecture with the environmental health and safety, control room, dashboard supervisor, workers' wearable devices, and an embedded local storage and processing unit in the helmet. This talks to the IoT convergence API management, and therefore the worker could communicate directly to the control room and have full visibility. Next.
So to give a good idea of how you might interact with our solution, we've produced a POV camera feed from a worker, A. Kumar, as viewed from the supervisor's dashboard. As you can see, the supervisor has access to all pertinent information, such as worker name, location, completed safety checks, and a list of all tasks they have to complete. Importantly, the supervisor can also see the risk associated with hazards as they develop and communicate with the worker to mitigate any risks associated with those hazards. In this case, the worker is trying to carry an excessive load, and a warning flashes up to alert the supervisor of this, and the supervisor acts accordingly by contacting the worker through their headpiece.
This is our main architecture of our solution, which goes right from the sensor networks using machine learning, right till the generation of the behavior report, which is used for the record incidences of knowledge base and audit. It provides feedback mechanism at every step for the corrective action. Next, please.
Here's a behavioral analysis report scored from 1 to 9. And the people in the control room and the supervisor can see exactly how the worker is operating and if he is using the correct PPE. Next slide. Here's our business case. We have a net investment of 3.5 million, a long-term project savings of 50 million, and then you can convert it to rupees and a net cash flow of
Oh, I think Teja's cut out there. I'll just
Next, please.
move on.
Next, please. Based upon our business model, we have presented the advantages and disadvantages and challenges in our solution. It's due to the favorable policies of the Indian market right now, which makes our solution more feasible. Next, please. These are the challenges as to trained and have skilled
so we
manpower.
discussed the advantages.
The final conclusion that I would like to make is what our solution has is its scalability. Second is its target to Indian market. Third is its approach. Fourth is its low input power. Fifth is its Fifth is its Make in India initiative, which helps to scale it. And finally, it's the India-Brazil presence, which makes it easier due to BRICS agreement. Thank you.
Great, thank you. And we'll have 5 minutes for Q&A.
Okay, good presentation. One of the key questions that I have is your entire solution hinges on having this specialized helmet. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. That's one part of it. So what we divided our solution is to first have machine learning in order to in the problem statement, they have mentioned about Sterlite doing a root cause analysis for over the years and finding the behavior of the problem. So what we did is in order to reduce effort for the next years, first we developed a machine learning, propose a machine learning, which collects the data, it divides India into different sectors, collects that data as input variables and gives you two forecasts. One is the transmission forecast for your grid. And second one is the number of reasons which cause the accidents at specific places. So if you select an area. So this was the first approach, the first part of our solution. The second part of the solution is how the worker would effectively communicate with the monitor room in order to avoid the accidents. And for that, we enable the accountability on the worker to have this smart helmet and smart harness, which at any point of time, if it has a problem, would directly send a feedback signal to the control room, and they would send a corrective feedback signal to the worker to stop the work or do correcting action right away. So that's the two approaches that we used.
So how do you intend to make the helmet and harness smart? Is it a plug and play device, or is it some special thing that needs to be done?
Do you mind if I take this one, Sid?
Sure.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of companies already manufacturing very similar helmets, so it wouldn't take a lot of effort to modify the helmets just to have the sensors that you would want on it, and there'd be room to add new sensors depending on what you would want to monitor of the worker's behavior.
And some of the things we would cover are heart rate, possibly, or dust sensing. There's a camera on the helmet that can show real-time situations and the point of view. And then the harness would have sensors on the different stress points on the back, legs, and chest, showing if there's an overweight limit or if there's the risk of falling because there's too much tension on the safety lanyard. So these are the ways in which we can reduce loading and exhaustion, as well as possibility of falling, which is the majority of the hazard and deaths.
So it's like we used two-way approach. One is the data shown by Sterlite shows the maximum accidents caused due to fall. So the harness addresses that issue. Sterlite also shows in order to increase accountability on the worker aspect that addresses due to the helmet. And then we have increased accountability on the monitor section as well, the monitor room as well, where they have to mandatorily submit the behavior analysis report so that every maintenance work done by any of your contractor would be logged in after that incident. And then it would help you to rate your contractors who have minimum and award contracts, let's say for future purposes, to only those contracts who had maximum efficiency or let's say least accident records.
Oscar, can you please go to the architecture slide?
This one.
No,
Next one.
the next one.
That's the complete overview. Yes.
Yeah, so sir, if you see, our machine learning algorithm firstly predicts what is your transmission rate at a single point. What are your problems that occurred over the years due to behavior of the workers? This gives you an idea, like suppose tomorrow A Kumar is going to work in a specific area. You already have a forecast as to what problems were initially recorded for accidents. Then it gives you pre-prepared analysis as you're pre-prepared whether before he goes to work. As Sterlite we saw in through their website and through their research, it's already using LiDAR techniques. So before you send a worker to your place to do the maintenance work, you use this LiDAR to firstly check whether your work environment is conducive for the worker. Let's say some of your projects are in very hilly terrain area where the weather can get very problematic. So due to your machine learning as well as the LiDAR technique, you can right away decide whether you can send it or not. This saves you cost. Once you send your worker, we have increased his accountability in order to upload a picture to our tool. Once the monitor room receives that picture, he only then approves that worker to start, and then only the monitor room can stop the grid or let's say adjust the grid at that point of time. This gives you enhanced capability in your monitor room and does not give capability to the supervisor on site. Once he starts the work, due to the live transmission feed, your monitor room knows each and every second what's happening on your site. In case you feel that there's an issue which the warning system shows you, you can stop the work right away and give him a corrective action. Once he does the work entirely completely, he finishes the work, then the accountability rides in your monitor section where they create a detailed behavior analysis report. There are specific questions asked there. It hardly takes 7 to 8 seconds for it. And he rates them on basis of score of 1 to 8. Once he rates it, he submits that to the system. So
Sid,
next
also,
time,
can we go to the business case slide?
yeah, just a second.
Guys, I
So,
think that's the last.
so
No,
when you
correct.
have the rating for your work done, it helps you in your next analysis or next audit as well.
Got it. No, that part is very clear. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, that's all the time we
Thank
have. Thank you very much, Distributed Daydreaming, and
Thank you.
thank you for presentation. We'll admit the next team now.
Okay,
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
for your time.
Bye.
Thank you very much.